Welcome back to Go Again Gaming, and welcome back to the League That Means Nothing 3. The third season. Bigger, better, more players means even less. Who cares? It means nothing. It's all about the love of flesh and blood. As always, I am your voice of the league, Ian, and today we have a game between newly released classic hero, Ira Scarlet Revenger, piloted by my own favourite Irish player, except for myself, Jamie McCabe. We all love Jamie. Has once won a skirma on Irish, so, really getting back to his roots. Taking on Pascal Weiler, many times a Guardian player, playing Betsy, skin in the game. Now, from Pascal's side of things, I have seen him play a Guardian before or two. In fact, last season I commented on his lack of a might token, and hopefully my little shipment of a might token arrives before he has to break out another fable instead in lieu of a token. This is kind of a grindy game. Ira excels in churning out value into decks that want to go long, so really Pascal is going to want to shorten this game as much as possible before Ira gets to generate a million points of value with Kodachi for one, Kodachi for two, battle cry that is scarred many a blitz player. With all that being said, let's throw it over to the game and see whether we can bet big or if 1-2-6 is going to carry the day.
The League That Means Nothing Season 3 is brought to you in part by Enter the Battlefield Gaming out of Ontario, Canada. They do all of our favourite games, including this one, Flesh and Blood. They do sealed, singles, and events. But they also do things like Magic, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Lorcana, One Piece, Sorcery, Warhammer, tabletop games, and all sorts of different supplies for your table. Make sure you go and check them out if you're local to Canada, or check out their website at enterthebattlefield.ca. Let's get on with the tournament.
So it looks like we have Jamie going first here, and he is going to pitch a 0-cost blue to give his Harmonized Kodachi go again when it attacks for 1. And Pascal immediately taking 1, not even thinking about it, knowing full well that there is... Jamie was so excited he even forgot to put a counter on his tunic, but Pascal, being the delightful person he is, has allowed him to do that. Now the second Kodachi is coming in for 2. That's going to be blocked by a beautiful extended art sign Pulverize, blocking 2. And then we're going to follow up with an E-Strike for 7. Imagine moving that last card into Arsenal. Perfect setup for Ira. Pascal just choosing to full block here with his entire hand. This is a play pattern we're going to see a lot from Ira, which is 1-2, another attack. But she plays really well off 2-card hands. Is able to convert every single blue into at least 3 points of value. Now, let's see what Pascal is going to do. We're going to start by pitching a sink below to create a seismic surge using our tectonic plating. He has that beautiful extended border tectonic plating, and then we're going to follow that up with an Onothos for 4. No big swing on this hammer, unless, of course, Pascal's hiding a Pummel. Could suddenly put it up to 10. But let's see what Jamie decides to do. Pascal flashing 2 cards to the camera there, going like, oh, Jamie, you never know what it could be. Could be a Pummel. Could be nothing. And Jamie is just going to go and block 3, 4, 5, 6 using his Pouncing Paws and a Command and Conquer and a Bittering Thorns. Pouncing Paws is an interesting piece of tech in this deck. I am not entirely sure what the goal of that one is. But we've covered the damage, and Pascal is arsenaled and drawn to 4. So we're going to pitch a Flick-Flack, a blue Flick-Flack, and we're going to Kodachi for 1. And here we have Kodachi for 2. Obviously, every third hit, if 2 hits in a row, the third one threatens an activation of Mask of Momentum, which is right there on board, one of the more powerful pieces in the Ira toolkit. And Jamie using that beautiful Edge of Autumn playmat as well. Pascal choosing to block with the Gauntlets of Iron Will, and Jamie is going to follow this up with a Scar for a Scar. Not usually when you see a lot of an Ira. Obviously has no real text right now because Pascal has a higher life total, but hey. Threaten 4. Pascal has decided to block 4. Jamie going to move that last card into his arsenal. Just having some good value turns here. So Pascal going to sink, draw up from his sink below, and surprised to see armor come out so early in the game, but you never know. There may be a reason behind it. Really trying to make sure, especially if you're going to block that scar for scar, do you really need? He must need as much of his hand as possible, or we're going to pitch a Warmongers to re-up the Seismic Surge. And then we're going, this beautiful Seismic Surge token with Bravo and Valda, and then we're going to Weakest Link. Not a card that has a lot of text against Ira. Very famously, a deck that wants a lot of 3 blocks and 4 blocks. With the occasional 2 block because it has Go Again, you know? So Jamie is going to have a look at this one. If he has, now knowing that he has those Scar for Scars, if he has one, he may just take the damage. But we're going to block with a Dishonor and a Give and Take, and then Pascal's going to Pummel, and we're going to meet that Pummel with a Sink Below, covering the full 10. Jamie must have smelled that Pummel. That's the only reason. Man's been traumatized by a Pummel by Ireland's own Jack Canty, so he probably has now got a 6th sense for them. Taking that Tunic up to 3, 2 cards in hand, which usually is going to mean Kodachi for 1. Pascal, if he takes 1 here, that will be 3 Kodachi for 1s he's taken this game, and there's only 37 more of those he can take. It looks like he's just going to give up his gauntlets on this one anyway. Into a Kodachi for 2, taking the 2. And Jamie deciding whether he's going to arsenal this last card or if he's going to push a little bit of damage, but it looks like he's just going to arsenal and move to end. Kodachi's getting huge value there, both finally taking 1 piece of the Guardian Fridge away entirely and dealing 2 points of damage. But again, Pascal is here with a full hand. So we're going to pitch to play a Money Where Your Mouth Is, because it's time to start wagering. And then we're going to send a bet big. So you may wager a Might Vigor Gold token, and we're going to wager. So does this mean we are overpowering using Betsy's hero text as well? Or is it just going to be the 11? It is 12. 12 coming in. We are wagering, so we're paying for the overpower and +1 from Betsy, threatening a Might, a Vigor, and a Gold. I see a Vigor and a Gold there, and of course, Pascal does not have my Might token yet, so he has simply opted to use a gold foil New Horizons, which is, as we all know, here at Go Again Gaming headquarters, the standard replacement for a token you don't have is you use the nearest piece of gold foil equipment. But that's a big win for Betsy. 2 gold, a Might, and a Vigor, allowing her to keep chaining wagers using her Good Time Chapeau. Yes, as New Horizon is a Might, lol. As we both know, that is the standard. Like, it's always been New Horizon if you don't have a token, right? We all have those gold foil New Horizons. Anyway, Jamie, Kodachi for 1. Kodachi for 2. Something like Overpower really helping to combat Ira's main game plan of block with 2 cards, keep 2 cards, stuff like that. But we're going to block this too with our Tectonic Plating, and then follow that up with a spinning wheel kick. So this is coming in for 4 with go again. So it's a leg tap. And we're going to finish with we're not finished. Now we're going to send in 100 wins, extended art, Mr. Flex, Jamie. So 100 wins for 3. Blocking that with the civic steps, taking a single point of damage here. Betsy being very cavalier with her armor, so quick early in the game. And then we have a nasty surprise. So in this, if this is a card that gets pummeled out of your hand, obviously it's one that you get to create the tokens off of, but more importantly, it's a blue 3 block, 0 cost, turns on Kodachis. Although you can also stick it in your arsenal if it gets command and conquered. Win-win, as far as I'm concerned. Absolutely trades up on value. But 2 technically has go again. Go again thanks to the quicken. Surprised to see Jamie use that. Could have stuck it in Arsenal and just led his next turn with it, but let's see what Pascal does now. He's blocked with all of his armor. Has 3 blocking armor left, but he has a might, he has a vigor, he has 2 gold, and he has 4 cards in hand. So what are we going to do here? Now, we're going to drink them under the table using their Betsy specialization. So we have, that costs us 4 resources using the vigor. Now we can wager a card. If you win the wager, you draw a card, and the other player discards a card. It looks like we're paying into Betsy's overpower as well. So this is getting +1 from Betsy, +1 from the might, has overpower. So this is a 10 overpower attack. Now, not a great space for wee Jamie. What are we pitching into there? So we've got +1 from the might, +1 from Betsy. Is Betsy not a once per turn? Have we done that again? Interesting. So Pascal is really going all in on this one. Just really wants Jamie to discard a card. Jamie looks like he is just deciding which card he is going to keep and which one he is going to ship to the bin. Yeah, so we're just taking the full 11 and discarding a card. Betsy drawing, and I imagine that is going straight into the arsenal. And then Jamie is going to be there with 3 cards in hand, probably trying to threaten a mask draw here. And now Pascal is kind of in a position where he doesn't get a say in the matter anymore. Thanks to giving up so much of his armor so quickly. Pascal choosing not to arsenal that, so one can only assume that card he drew was bad. Good at you for 1, pitching a fine centre. Solid start, young Jamie. You may have noticed that every single Ira turn has been the exact same turn, and that's what she does. The same turn ad nauseum until they fall over. So we're taking the 1, Kodachi for 2. So we're blocking with the armor there, and we're going to razor reflex it. So not only is this damage going to sneak through unless Pascal has a direct, which he does not, Jamie gets a quicken token out of this. So the next attack he sends is both threatening to draw a card from the Mask of Momentum. Jamie, nice one. Cyndaquil is a quicken. Jamie choosing to just keep the quicken, pop a card in Arsenal, and send it back to Pascal, who is now basically on one armor. So he's really cashed in all his resources in order to stay in this game. And we're using the might and vigor we wagered with our good time chapeau, along with a thunk, to send a zealous belting for 5 go again, 6 go again. I imagine we just could give 2 cards here, and then I imagine this will just be followed up by the good old Anothos. Yeah, so we're going to flick-flack the zealous belting, preventing 4 of this damage, and then that's going to get pummeled up to 10. And Jamie's going to be stuck in a spot where he has to discard a card. I got a funny feeling that thunk is the card that Pascal drew for turn because that is not one you want in your arsenal. For the bet big, that is. Jamie, are you going to gain 3 life, or are we going to just discard the sigil? It looks like we're just discarding the sigil there. And then we're going to follow it up with the hammer. What are we pitching for the hammer? Are we pitching for the hammer? Surely we have to pitch for the hammer still, right? No. We have the right amount there. So hammer for 6 to follow up here. Pretty solid turn there, Pascal. Drawing up and shipping it back to Jamie, who has a quicken token and a couple cards in hand. Quicken, not really something Ira gets a huge amount of use out of because you nearly always lead with your Kodachis. But it looks like we're going to use our Tunic resource to start. We're going to send a Censor for 5 with Go again. This powerful on hit, obviously, you get to name a card. The player can't play it. So, depending on what you're worried about, you could name Pummel or Bet Big or Drink 'em Under the Table. Because once you get past those 3 really into Betsy, you don't really have a lot that you can figure out. Let's see what happens here. Jamie just moving Arsenal. Keeping it with that Ira gameplay. 2 cards for 2 cards every turn. Name's Bet Big. Solid name. Bet Big would be a mild problem, as would Drink 'em Under the Table. But if that's a defense reaction in Arsenal, Jamie's probably pretty comfy right now. And we're going to just send a Spinal Crush. Pretty standard. 9. Jamie, if he can cover up 6 points of damage here, gets to keep his go agains. And it's a pretty comfy thing for Ira to cover up. Ira could even cover up with 3 blocks here and just go Kodachi, deal with it. So we're going to block with our Enlightened Strike and with a Flick Flack. So we're going to cover up 7 damage here, taking 2, going to 12 to 21. But, the life totals have been kind of disparate here. But Ira is closing that gap and is going to be able to close that gap for as long as Pascal is not setting up turns, not able to generate seismic surges, not able to establish an arsenal. Yeah. So we're going to start with a scar for scar. Go again, thanks to being at 12 versus the 21. Let's see what Jamie has to follow up with here. It looks like we're going to pop our pouncing paws to generate a crouching tiger. So we're going to crouching tiger for 1 here because Ira's hero text, giving it that +1. So this is coming in for 1. Wonder if Pascal decides to block. No, taking the 1, going to 16. We're going to pitch a sigil of Solace for a torrent of tempo. So this is a 1 for 5 on hit against Go Again. More importantly, on hit, draw a card from Mask of Momentum. And with only 1 block in armor, Pascal's going to have to provide at least 2 cards here to cover this, and he does. A twin set of buckling blows. So far we have seen exactly 0 life gain from Sigil of Solaces, but that is a lovely Merline sigil that Jamie has decided to pitch. These players both showing off their bling here, and now Pascal pitching a wind up to make a seismic surge, and then pitching a rouse to send a Nothos for 6. We're just going to be blocking 3 with a Whelming Gust Wave by the looks of things. Jamie keeping a 3-card hand, going to 9, and continuing to attempt to close this gap. We have now gained a couple of points in this, so we've gone from a 9-point lead to a 7-point lead, but Pascal kind of at an awkward spot, because really when you give up that good time chapeau, which you never want to do, you are giving up a huge amount of equity in your hero text. So Jamie leading with pitch a majestic 3-block 0-cost blue ninja card with combo. Kodachi for 1. Probably taking the 1 here. Yeah, going to 15. Into a Bittering Thorns for 5. Go again with an actual on hit. On hit, your next attack gets +1. So this is 5 go again now. So Bittering Thorns, if it hits, gives your next attack the Ira hero text of your second attack. And let's see if Pascal decides to take the 5 here. Is he going to be greedy, or are we going to block the actual on hit here? I have a sneaking suspicion that what Jamie really wants out of this exchange is a block on Bittering Thorns. Interesting to see what Pascal decides he's going to do. Looks like Pascal has said, show me what you got, and takes 5, and Jamie is going to follow that up with a spinning wheel kick extended art again for 5, go again, with the mask on hit. So Pascal tried not to give 2 cards, is just going to take the 5, go to 5, not 4 like as has on screen, right? Yeah. Oh, is going to 4. Jamie's going to pop the breaking scales to deal the extra point of damage. We're being really aggressive here from Jamie McCabe. I imagine we're going to see that Mask of the Pouncing Lynx used as a blocking card soon, and Jamie has put his Kodachi in the graveyard. I hope he remembers not to do that. So Pascal looking to send as big a turn as he can here with 4 cards and a Seismic Surge. Jamie's established an arsenal he didn't attack with, so either he couldn't, or that's a defense reaction. We're going to find out. So we're going to block 3 with a Sensor and 2 with the Mask of Momentum. Pretty well to be expected here because we're now no longer at a point where drawing a card is going to matter. I know Pascal is going to pop the Good Time Chapeau to wager a gold, a might, and a vigor on this Command and Conquer. So it's currently for 6. And are we going to... Yes, we're paying the hero text. So this is going to be 7 overpower from a Command and Conquer. Which is pretty good. But all this while, Pascal is looming into the dreaded Kodachi lock, one of the best tools in Ira's arsenal. Let's see how Jamie digs his way out of this one. Again, we're wagering that very standard gold New Horizons. Could you imagine if your opponent just wagered a cold gold on you? But Jamie could have a standing order. That would be pretty choice right here. Be able to sink that arsenal and gain a little bit of advantage in his blocks. Our man Jamie has just found that second Kodachi, which he had inadvertently binned. These two, what could have been a grindy game, has been a race towards a conclusion, and we're going to block with a nasty surprise again. And Jamie is going to lose what looks like a nasty surprise, and that is going to trigger, giving Jamie a might, an agility, and a vigor token. He might say, thank you, Pascal. I could have done with those. That's pretty good. Pretty high value there as in terms of a card you lose in your arsenal. So we have a might, a vigor, and agility. So, yeah, we have a +1, a 1 resource, and a might token. So normally, obviously, this would be bad because we wouldn't be able to pitch into our Kodachi, but because we have that agility token, it doesn't really matter. That sword is going again regardless. Sword, dagger, whatever. Pascal really has just given up on trying to set up an arsenal here and is just trying to end this game. But at 4, these Kodachis are now threatening lethal. Because each one is going to be 2, so between the 2 Kodachis, that's lethal. So Pascal is going to be forced to block, and instead we're going to lead with a sensor for 5 go again. 6 go again, even because we have a might token. Excellent stuff. Pascal going to be forced into blocking with at least 1 card, if not 2. If he only blocks 1, yeah, there we go. There's 2 blocks. And now we put him in the squeeze, going Kodachi for 2. Put you to 1. Put you to 2. Kodachi for 1. Put you to 1. And once you kind of get into that position, you have to start giving up full cards for Kodachis. It becomes a serious issue. So Kodachi for 2, and then we have Kodachi for 1 here. I could definitely see Pascal just giving up on his Good Time Chapeau. Instead, he's taking it, going to 3, keeping a single card. And let's see what he does on the crackback. He obviously has a might and a vigor. So that vigor could be turned into a seismic surge. And then 3 resources can just be converted into an Anothos for 5. Looks like, yep, that's exactly what we're looking at. A Surge Hammer. A Surge Hammer for 5. Not too bad. Not a bad 1-card hand, you know? Bank a resource for the next turn, send 5. We take those. Jamie probably either giving up a defense reaction if he has one, or at least 1/3 block, if not 2. Because next turn, he's in a pretty good spot to start really threatening with these Kodachis. So where are we going to go here, Jamie? What is your plan for this one? Or do you give up 2 cards, keep your life total at 5, and just start threatening? So we're going to sink below, probably just take a single point of damage. We're not sinking anything. So I imagine we have a good plan here. And Jamie with 3 cards in hand. So, yeah, pitching a Warmongers. Kodachi for 1. 1/3 of your life total. Kodachi for 2. Exactly your life total. Pascal, very, very ballsy there. And 100 wins for 3. So we're going to buy another card, and we still have a card in hand. So we're going to block 3 to the 100 wins, and then we're going to Winds of Eternity for 4. On hit, shuffle that 100 wins back into your deck. So what have we got here? Drawing 4. Pascal kind of in an awkward spot now, has had to give up the Good Time Chapeau on a card, has a Seismic Surge, and is just going to hammer for 4. If Jamie has a defense reaction, we obviously have a clean cover here, but should be in an okay spot here. Yeah, Jamie just blocking 3, going to 1, and knows he has Pascal in the squeeze. I thought this was the same turn for a second because we're going Kodachi for 1. And if Pascal, there's the Razor Reflex, putting it up to 4, and Pascal is down. That's the real problem here when Ira gets you in the squeeze, in the vice. Do you block the Kodachis? Do you not block the Kodachis? You don't have a choice. Jamie just shown Pascal, it doesn't matter what you did. You were toast. Well done, Jamie, moving into the 1-0 bracket on Ira. After all, you were normally a Dash main, but, your first love is back. Your real love, your skirmish winning hero, Ira Scarlet Revenger. And hard luck, Pascal. But that Betsy is now moving into the Pablo Pintor Memorial Submarine bracket. And hopefully we'll see you make that submarine all the way to the top 8. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy the video, if you love the league that means nothing, if it means something to you, make sure you like the video, comment on the video, tell us how much it means, tell me how great I am at commentary or otherwise, and make sure you subscribe to Go Again Gaming so that the league that means nothing finds its way to your YouTube recommendations, your subscriptions. And if you're not sick of listening to me by now and you would love to hear more of what I have to say about Flesh and Blood TCG, the hit TCG from Legend Story Studios, you can find me on Twitter occasionally, not really, under Finals_Spirit, but more prominently, you'll find a lot of more interaction from me from Blue Sky and finalspirit.bsky.social. And with that, we close another game in round 1 of the league that means nothing, 1 of 27, and I'll see you in the next one. Catch you later.